Jam Vishnupad Brahmans Parivrajacharya Darshat His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya BBD Founder Acharya said the whole world Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Dai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavadi Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nastiki. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion to hear something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, something from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So let's get started with the prayers and we'll chant some extra prayers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanajalakaya Chakshurun Milidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupādaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhashyad Deshidarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat the prayers after me. Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Vedavya Chavisundaraya Hema Vedavya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Chandra, the giver of the mallow of the highest love of Godhead, who is the embodiment of blissful pastimes, and who is so beautiful, having a dazzling luster like gold. Ajanulambit bhujo khanakavidatho Sankirtane kapitaro kamalaya daksho Vishwambaro dujavaro yugadharma balo Vande jagat priyakaro karanavataro. I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus. They are the maintainers of all living entities. They are the best of Brahmanas, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. So we'll start our discussion. So last time we have been discussing about the different regions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, the external regions. We discussed 3 regions and the internal regions. So we understood there that how Krishna, after performing all the various pastimes here, goes back to Golok Vrindavan, and then after going there he had the desire. So because of the desire that Krishna has to come and do something. So Lord is full of desires. Generally we see in this material world the person has the desire because they lack something, they don't have something, so they desire that I do not have this and I should get this. But Lord also has the desire. This sounds a little contradictory because here in this world something is lacking and you desire. But we know that Lord is full of all the six opulences. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yasya, Shriya, Gyan, Vairagyasya, Sannamaga, Tingana. So all the six opulences in full. Then what is the desire? So Lord's desire is slightly different than the people have the desire in this material world. Lord's desire is always for the welfare of all the living entities in this material world and for the sake of the pastime. And all those desires in any form, any incarnation of the Lord, not only just Krishna is desiring, but any other form also, the Lord has the desire. And all these desires which manifest in the Lord, it gradually epitomizes in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you see that when Lord Vishnu, who is full of opulence, and this particular episode happened, then Lord came as Narsimha. So very powerful incarnation of the Lord. And then so before that, actually there was a desire in the Lord. We read in the Bhagavatam why Lord takes that particular form of Narsimha. So what was the root cause? There is a desire. Lord is very, very powerful and he is full of all the emotions. So Lord also had the desire that I want to fight with someone, I want to wrestle with someone, the desire. So who can fight with the Lord? So then he only orchestrated the whole pastime, that Jay and Vijay episode happened and they falls down and they become Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and then various other incarnations. And the Lord comes in the form of Narsimha to fulfill that desire, that how to wrestle, whom to wrestle with. So Lord fulfilled that desire through that pastime. But then what happened in that pastime, we all know from the 7th canto that Lord comes as Narsimha, Hiranyakashipu was killed, and then he was furious and nobody even dares to go close to the Lord. And then everybody pushes the small Prahlad that you should go and then pacify the Lord. So then Prahlad Maharaj goes with a garland and offer garland to Narsimhadev, and then Narsimha becomes pacified. He becomes ecstatic by the devotion. So in that ecstasy, Narsimhadev, he took Prahlad on his lap, and that is how we see that Prahlad Narsimha. So now Prahlad is sitting on his lap, and suddenly, of course, Prahlad is feeling that ecstasy of like Vatsalya Bhav, the Lord in that lion, that Narhari Rupa, half man, half lion. He started showing his affection, his love, like a lion, licks the cub sometime. So like that, Lord Narasimha was also kissing him, showing his affection. And then he saw that this Prahlad is very ecstatic. So first time, the Lord is having this desire now. That what is that ecstasy that he is feeling? Like somebody is showing the Vatsalya. The Lord is showing the Vatsalya to a devotee. So then what is the joy of receiving this Vatsalya Bhav? So then Lord has the desire, I also want to experience that what Prahlad is experiencing, that I should also have some parents, they can show me some affection, some love and like that. So you see, after that all the incarnations have the parents, no pillar business anymore. It's coming only from the parents after that. So you see the Lord Ramchandra comes, then all the various rasas are there. There is Vatsalya Bhav is also there. Kaushalya, Dashrath Maharaj, they are showing love and affection. So Lord experienced that Vatsalya Bhav, the desire is fulfilled. And then Sakya Bhav. So even in the Ramayana also we see the Lord Ramchandra has some friends, like Sugriva and all those people, they are the friends. But they are very formal friends. We don't see any pastime, we don't read in the Ramayana where Sugriva is climbing on the Lord's back. They cannot, though they are in a friendly relation, but it is very, very formal. There will be still awe and reverence, respect, they understand his position, but they are still a little friendly. So, though there is experience of the Sakyava, but something is still missing there. That intimate relation of that friendship is missing. In the Ramayana, we see the Lord experienced this Madhurya Bhav also, that conjugal rasa, with Sita Devi. But that is Swakiya Bhav. They are like husband and wife having nice pastimes and all of that. And we understand that in the conjugal rasa also, the highest, the level of that conjugal rasa is Vipralamba Seva. That emotion in separation, feeling in separation. Because we understand from Prabhupada's teachings that the separation intensifies the desire, that longing to meet the object of love. When somebody is already there, then there is a possibility of little familiarity. But then Vipralamba, it intensifies the desire to meet. So Lord Ramchandra also experienced the Vipralamba Bhav. But in this Vipralamba, this separation is also, Vira Bhav is also, there are various types of Vira Bhav. So in the Ramayana, in the case of Lord Ramchandra, this Vira was that Sita Devi was kidnapped and Lord is feeling that separation. This is one type of Viraha. But there is various layers and various varieties of Viraha. That was also lacking. So then Lord has to experience that. And then Lord comes as Krishna. So in the Krishna Leela, even this Vatsalya Bhav is also more intimate. Krishna is more like very naughty child than Lord Ramchandra. So he get more attention. So he receives this Vatsalya Bhav to its peak. And then Sakhya Bhav also, very intimate relation. We see that in Vrindavan, that all these Gopas, they're just having some fun with Krishna, cracking jokes. They're playing the game. If Krishna loses the game, then he has to give them the ride on the back. So then Sakhya Bhav is also very intimate. And then when it comes to the conjugal love, the Madhurya Bhav, so in Dwarka it is Swakiya Bhav, but in Vrindavan and especially with the gopis, it is Parakya Bhav. But in this Parakya Bhav also, the highest, the epitome of the Parakya Bhav is Vipralamba Seva, feeling in separation. So, Krishna never got married with Radharani. So there is a constant separation. There are different types of separation. So sometime Radharani, gets a little upset with Krishna and she just goes away. She doesn't want to meet Krishna. So Krishna feels that separation. So this is a different kind of viraha. And sometimes the Radharani's family members won't let her go and meet Krishna. Then there is a feeling of separation. So that is also a different kind of viraha. So like that we are seeing here, the Lord has many, many different desires, which is gradually getting fulfilled. And Krishna performed the pastime. He goes back and then he realized that one desire got unfulfilled. One thing got unfulfilled. What is that? That Braj Bhakti, what I experienced, I forgot to teach the people. And that is when Lord decided to come in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach that Braj Bhakti, and then we discussed that internal regions also. So that is the reason that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, with the desire to spread the holy name, to teach the Braj Bhakti by his personal example. And when he comes, then the Lord Chaitanya's teachings can be summarized through this verse, the famous verse, Aradhyo Bhagavan Braje Chaitanya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadu Varge Naya Galbida Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Bhumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Madamidam Tatradharana Paraha. So you see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings can be summarized in 4 items. Why he came. So this has been explained to teach us the 4 things. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. Number 1, is teaching the goal. What is the goal of life? So goal of life is this: pure love of God. So the goal, the object of love. The goal is the love of God. The object of love. Who is that? Bhagwan Brajezatanya, the son of Brajesh Ananda Maharaj, Sri Krishna, who resides in Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching four things: the goal, which is love of God, the object of love, Sri Krishna, and then the shining examples of love. Who are those people? Brajavadu, Vargena, Galbida, the gopis of Vrindavan. That this is how one should love. And then how to develop that love. For that, there's a guidebook for developing the love. Srimad Bhagavatam Amalam Puranam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is the book which can produce the love of Krishna in anyone who sincerely reads and practices it. So this is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and the purpose summarized. The goal, pure love of God. The object of love, Krishna, who is in Vrindavan. The shining example of love, the gopis of Vrindavan. And the guidebook for developing love is Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how we can summarize this. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he started this movement, Sankirtan movement, and then he made a prediction from the Chaitanya Bhagavat. The prediction is Pratvita Yachayat Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachar Hoiba Moranam. That this holy name will spread all around the world. Now this is very interesting. There was one time Srila Prabhupada, as we know that Prabhupada used to wake up really early. He would sleep like 10 to 12 and 12:30 he will wake up. And then Prabhupada, after waking up for an hour or so, he will chant his japa behind his desk. And then Prabhupada for next 4-5 hours he will translate on the books with that on the desk with the light. So as usual, that was Prabhupada's daily routine. So one day when he was doing, so Prabhupada's servant, one devotee, he also woke up, not as early as Prabhupada, but he also woke up little early and he came. And then he saw that there is a light on and he would understand that Prabhupada is awake, Prabhupada is doing some work. So then he thought, Prabhupada should know that I am here available in case if he needs me. So just wanted to indicate Prabhupada that I am here outside the room. In case you need me, you can just ring the bell. I'm available, because he came a little too early. So he wanted to give some indication to Prabhupada. So he made some noise, made some sound so that Prabhupada knows that somebody is there outside. 1 or 2 times he did that to make sure that Prabhupada knows that I'm sitting here. Then Prabhupada rings the bell, calls him inside. And then he came, paid obeisances. And Prabhupada says, please do not make any noise. I'm translating these books. I had to think very deeply and write very thoughtfully, because these books are going to guide the entire humanity for next 10,000 years. And we hear many times Prabhupada mentioned about the Sankirtan movement will go for 10,000 years. The question comes, why 10,000? From where this 10,000 is coming? It is somebody just made up, or it is just some tentative number that Prabhupada maybe next 10,000 years? From where it is coming? So there is a reference to this in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So there is a conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and Mother Ganga. So Ganga Devi is asking some question to Lord Krishna and Krishna is answering, and we'll see that how this 10,000 number is coming from where. So this is Bhagirathi Uvacha. Bhagirathi is Ganga is asking Krishna. Enadaramana Shrestha Yashi Goloka Uttamam Asmakam Ka Gadishchatra Bhavishyati Kalau Yuge. So Ganga is asking this. Hey Nath Ramana Shrestha, O protector, supreme enjoyer, on your departure for the perfect abode, Goloka, thereafter what will be my situation in the age of Kali? So Mother Ganga is expressing her concern. When Krishna will go back, what will happen? That sin will increase, people will go take a dip in the Ganga, And Ganga has given the benediction that anybody who takes the dip in the Ganga, they'll be wiped off from their sinful reactions. So then Ganga has to accumulate all those sins of people in Kali Yuga. So she is concerned and asking that what will happen to me, what will be my situation in Kali Yuga. So Lord in response is saying this. Shri Bhagavana Vacha Kale Pancha Sahasrani Varshani Tishtata Bhutale Papani Papino Yani Tubhyam Dashanti Snanataha. The Blessed Lord said, on the earth, 5,000 years of Kali will be sinful, and sinners will deposit their sins in you by bathing. I'll just skip the verses, I'll just read the translation part, the series of verses. So Krishna is speaking this. Thereafter, by the sight and touch of those who worship me, by my mantra, all those sins will be burnt. Krishna is telling to Mother Ganga, Man mantro upasaka akshad. Man mantra upasaka sparshad. Basmi bhutani takshanat. Mabhishyanti darshanacha. Snanadeva hi janavi. So what Krishna is saying? Very important point. Man mantra upasaka sparshad. Man mantra, my mantra upasak, basically is referring to the devotees. Mantra upasak. So those devotees who are my mantra upasak, those who are chanting the holy name, isparshad, by their sparsh, basmi bhutani takshanat, all your sins which you have been accumulating, then what happens? Basmi bhutani takshanat, immediately they'll turn into ashes. Just by the touch of my mantra upasaka. Bhavishyanti, in the future. There will be chanting of the holy name of Hari and reading of Bhagavad Puran. Reaching such a place, attentively hear. So he is predicting that in the future there will be devotees who will be chanting the holy name of the Lord and also reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sinful reactions, including the killing of a Brahmana, can be nullified by hearing the Puran and chanting of the names of Hari in the manner of devotees. Just as dry grass is burnt by fire, by the embrace of my devotees all sins are burnt. O Ganges, the whole planet will become a pilgrimage site by the presence of my devotees, even though it had been sinful. In the body of my devotees remains eternally the purifier. Mother Earth becomes pure by the dust of the feet of my devotees. So like that Krishna goes on explaining various things. My mantra upasak will come, by their sparsh anybody will get purified. They'll be walking all around the planet and the whole world will become like a site of pilgrimage. Because everywhere there are devotees. So this is the discussion between Krishna and Ganga Devi. That everywhere there will be devotee roaming, traveling, and then whole world will become like a pilgrimage. Like that. And this is the verse. Kalair dosha sahasrani mad bhakta shanti bhutale ekavarna bhavishyanti mad bhakteshu gateshu cha. Kalair dasa sahasrani. Here it is coming 10,000. Kalair dasa sahasrani. For 10,000 years of Kali, such devotees of mine will fill the whole planet. After the departure of my devotees, there will only be one Varna. Only one Varna. No Brahmana, no Shudra, no Kshatriya, no Vaishya, only Shudras. After 10,000 years. But Kalair Dasha Sahasrani. So from here this 10,000 is coming. What Prabhupada keeps saying that for next 10,000 years this movement will guide the humanity. So this is the prediction by Krishna. Right? So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this prediction, this is very interesting to note. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back he said, Prathvite ache yat nagar adigram sarvatra prachar hoiba moranam. Sarvatra means everywhere my name will spread. So it was very puzzling to the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that how to the entire planet all this knowledge will go. Right? So some of them they were giving the interpretation that maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meant that it is all over the Bengal. That is the 1953. So while all this was going on, this Goswamis, they were sitting in Vrindavan, and their Nana Shastra, what is that? Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanibano Sadharma Sansthabhako Loka Nam Hitkarano. So all these Goswamis, they're sitting in Vrindavan for the welfare of the entire humanity. And what they're doing? Deeply studying, analyzing the scriptures. And then Rupa Goswami gave this principle of, what principle he gave? Which is a revolutionary idea. He gave this principle of Yukta Vairagya. What is that Yukta Vairagya? Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayanjida Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. So this understanding of Vairagya was not understood earlier, before Rupa Goswami gave this definition, that anasaktasya Vishayan, that one should remain unattached to the sense objects, but at the same time Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe, everything has its connection with Krishna, so everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna, and that is called Yukta Vairagya. And then he gave the definition of Falgu Vairagya also. What is the Falgu Vairagya? Prapanchikitaya buddhya Hari Sambandho Vastina Mumukshu Parityago Falgu Vairagya Muchyate. That somebody thinks, oh no, this is all Maya, this is Maya, this is Maya, without understanding its connection with Krishna. Prapanchikitaya buddhya. So, without knowing that Hari Sambandhi Vastuna, that every Vastu has the connection with Krishna, and they just kind of renounce it, that is Falgu Vairagya. Now, this idea of this Yukta Vairagya changed the whole paradigm going forward. So now it is very interesting to note that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back, when he was preaching, spreading the Sankirtan movement, and the Goswamis are studying the scriptures and they are giving all these ideas, what was happening around the world? And parallelly in this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the Bengal, and he is spreading, and he made the prediction that it will spread all over the planet. What is happening on the planet at that time? So something was very interestingly happening. So we all know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came when he came in 1486, right? And then Rupa Goswami was born in 1489. So Rupa Goswami was just 3 years younger than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Rupa Goswami lived little longer than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived only for 48 years. But Rupa Goswami was born in 1489, and then he lives in 1564. And what is happening around the world at that time? We'll talk about that. But this is some interesting connection. When Rupa Goswami left this world in 1564, in the very same year, Galileo, the great scientist, he was born on February 15th, 1564. So the year Rupa Goswami left, Galileo was born. And 1564, and then Galileo leaves this world on January 8, 1642. And the same year in 1642, 25th December, Newton was born. And then Newton left this world on March 1727. And after a few years, when Newton left, another great scientist was born, James Watt. It was in 1736 he was born. Now many scientists came, but these three scientists played a very, very significant role in the revolution of science. We know that how Galileo, he invented the telescope in 1608, and then Newton, his contribution is tremendous. He gave various concepts, gravity, calculus, mathematics, and then fluid mechanics, and so many things, which basically changed the understanding of the this physical universe with all those ideas. So you see how everything is, the whole paradigm is shifting gradually with the evolution of all this technology, this science, and then comes the James Watt, another revolution. What he invented? James Watt? Steam engine. So this steam engine played a very, very significant role. So you see, from 1760 to 1840, this almost like 100 years or whatever, 80, 90 years, it marks the time for industrial revolution uh, in the history of humanity. And it all started in the Great Britain. So all this was going on. There is a industrial revolution is happening. Then there is a concept of this mass production came, and some industry started. And then because the steam engine came, then transportation. Before that, transportation was what the best transportation? At the max, bullock cart. You can't go beyond that, right? But now because of the steam engine, the transportation began. Now people started traveling. Before that, people were just traveling locally from one village to another village. Now they started traveling. Now this travel began, then that brought the emergence of this global economy. Now people has to go travel from here to there, so there has to be exchange of economy and all of that. So this idea of global economy is emerging now. So you see that how, and there is a connection why it is all happening. We'll see at the end, right? So all this technology was improving. Now telephone came, that brought another revolution, communications. So first call was made in year 1876. 1876, the call happened. And then after that, immediately like soon after that, another 25 years, the Wright brothers, they flew their first successful flight in only 1903, December 17, 1903. Now the flights. See the transportation now, transportation gone to next level now. There is a flight now, right? So rapidly the things are moving. And it is very interesting, even the modern, historians, they acknowledge this, that as per the modern historians, they say that the humans, the Homo sapiens, they exist on this planet for last 300,000. That is their calculation. But we understand it has been there always. But as per their calculation also, in last 300,000 years human existed, they did not make any advancement, any progress. That many years. But suddenly in last 400, 500 years, there's so much of revolution, so much of technology, so much of science. So they have no answer like why it did not happen in that many 100,000 years. Why it is happening now suddenly. Right? They don't have the answer, but we have the answer. We'll see the answer at the end. So all this technology was happening, and there's so many other things are happening. So we are seeing parallelly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates and all of them are still there, and all this Sankirtan movement, they're trying to spread and all of that. And this is happening parallelly in the world. All this technology is emerging, all these scientists are coming, global economy came, and all these socio-political issues, people started talking about that. And then this democratic government came into existence. And then there is always in the history there is a man's superiority over the women. That was there in all traditions. So that idea was changing now around this time. And first time, even in America, actually that was the case. They say, oh no, India is like a very primitive country. There's no equal rights. But even in America, the first time the women got the right to vote was only in 1920. Before that was the no right to vote for the women. So that idea is emerging now that men and women are equal in 1920. Then still there's another thing, which was the white man's superiority. The black are like low class and all this discrimination against the blacks. Sometimes people say, oh no, this India is like, oh, Brahmanas are like exploiting the Shudras, discrimination. It has been there in all traditions, even in America. This is white man superiority. But then blacks were given the right to vote. When? It was very interesting. The blacks, they were given when? They are given the right to vote only in year 1964 by the President Johnson Civil Rights Act. 1964. So see what is happening in this last 500 years. So much technology, communication, transportation, and all this whole socio-political things are changing. Global economy, the equal rights, and all of that is coming. 1964, and then the very next year, 1965, Srila Prabhupada comes to America. So now we can conclude that what is all this happening and why it is happening now. While all these modern historians, they wonder like why all this advancement did not happen in so many hundreds of years. Why it is happening? Because everything is happening as per the prophecy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Prathvite Achayata Nagaradigram, Sarvatra Prachar Hoiba Maranam. So for the Nam Prachar, that message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, message of Krishna has to go around the world. So everything is conspired as per the prophecy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread the holy name around the world. And all of this is playing a very, very significant role. So while all this technology is emerging, parallelly Rupa Goswami is giving the principle of Yukta Vairagya, that everything can be used in the service of the Lord. Traditionally, you see the sannyasis, they'll just walk. They can't even sit in the bullock cart. If sannyasi has to walk only and that will spread the holy name Nagaradigram, how it will happen, when it will happen. That is why that principle of Yukta Vairagya, it's a very revolutionary idea, that everything has its connection with Krishna and can be used in the service of Krishna. And while all these principles are emerging from the scriptures, at the same time all this technology was also emerging. And at the perfect time, Srila Prabhupada used very expertly everything in the service of Krishna to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission around the world. So this is the prophecy, and as we read that it will be there for next 10,000 years. So we are born in such a wonderful, it is called the golden period. This golden window is open for next 10,000 years. So it's a great fortune, great opportunity for all of us that we are born around this time. Many millions of people are born though, but we are very, very fortunate that we got the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Srila Prabhupada. So now we have to take the advantage, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, a request that Janma Sarthak Kari Kar Paropakar. So we have to take the full advantage of this movement, Sankirtan movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, which is flowing all around. So we have to make our Janma Sarthak first, and then also take this mission forward, Paropkar. So preach vigorously. So we'll see that, we'll read more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, but I just thought of sharing this connection that, what is happening around and how such a conspiracy was happening as per the plan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so we'll stop with this. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nidai Gaur Premanande.